If you think a lion's magnificent mane is mainly a furry shield to protect it in a fight, you're in good company. That's what scientists, even Charles Darwin, believed for centuries. It's the image we all have. Two colossal males clashing on the savannah, their glorious manes absorbing the fury of tooth and claw. It's a powerful story. It just doesn't seem to be the whole story. But what if I told you that this glorious symbol of power comes at a terrible, hidden price? What if one of the biggest threats to a lion isn't another lion, but the mane itself? The truth is a brutal evolutionary trade-off. A constant battle between attracting a mate and suffering from deadly heat. What if the mane is less of a shield and more of a furnace? The story it tells is far more complex and fascinating than we ever imagined. For generations, the protection hypothesis just made sense. Fights between male lions are violent, explosive clashes over territory and prides. So, a thick, dense mane around the neck and shoulders, the theory went, would act like natural armor. But when scientists like Craig Packer and his team began their long-term studies in the Serengeti, they put this old idea to the test. They meticulously documented the lives, battles, and wounds of hundreds of lions. And the data told a different story. They discovered that the neck and shoulders weren't a primary target any more than the rest of the body. When they analyzed wound patterns, they found something startling. Female lions, with no manes at all, got neck wounds at similar rates to fully maned adult males. If the mane were vital armor, you'd expect the maneless lions to be suffering way more, but they weren't. The shield theory, as logical as it sounded, started to look shaky. It seemed protection wasn't the mane's main job. So, what was? The answer lies in one of the most powerful forces in nature: sexual selection. The mane isn't primarily a weapon or a shield. It's a billboard. A massive, flamboyant advertisement that screams a male's quality to everyone on the savannah, both rivals and potential mates. Think of it like a peacock's tail. That extravagant plumage doesn't help a peacock fight or fly. It's mostly a hindrance. But it's a powerful signal to peahens, broadcasting the male's health and genetic fitness. The lion's mane works on the same principle. It's what biologists call a secondary sexual characteristic, a trait that exists almost entirely to increase reproductive success. But this isn't just any billboard. It's an honest indicator, which means it's a signal that can't be faked. Growing a magnificent mane is incredibly costly, and only the strongest, healthiest males can pull it off. It's a living resume that tells the story of a male's life, his health, and his history, all woven into a cascade of hair, and every other lion out there knows how to read it. So, what exactly is this billboard advertising? Well, that depends on who's looking. First, the rivals, other male lions. For them, the mane is a clear, intimidating signal of fighting ability. To test this, researchers used a brilliant experiment. They placed life-size dummy lions with different manes out on the plains. The results were crystal clear. Real male lions consistently avoided the dummies with long, dark manes, seeing them as formidable opponents they'd rather not mess with. They were much more likely to approach or even charge the models with shorter, lighter manes, seeing them as weaker. Long-term data backs this up. A dark, full mane sends an unambiguous message to competitors. I am powerful. Stay away. It allows males to size each other up and establish a pecking order without always resorting to bloody, potentially deadly combat. But maybe the most important audience is the lionesses. For a female, choosing the right mate is a huge decision for her future cubs. She needs a partner who is strong enough to defend the pride and healthy enough to pass on good genes. The mane is her guide. When presented with the same dummy lions, females showed a strong, unmistakable preference for the males with the darkest manes. And for good reason. Science has shown that mane darkness can be a powerful clue to a male's condition. A darker mane often correlates with higher testosterone levels and better nutrition. In fact, one landmark study in the Serengeti found that cubs sired by dark-maned fathers actually had higher survival rates. By choosing a male with an impressive dark mane, a lioness isn't just picking a handsome partner, she's making a smart investment in her children's future. This all sounds great for the dark-maned kings of the savannah. But it brings up a huge question. If a dark mane is so great, why don't all male lions have one? This is where we uncover the uncomfortable truth, the brutal trade-off at the heart of it all. That beautiful, attractive mane comes at a staggering cost: heat. Using thermal imaging cameras, scientists uncovered a startling fact. Under the hot African sun, maned males can run significantly hotter than females. And the darker the mane, the worse the problem gets. Dark hair absorbs a ton of solar radiation, while the thick fur traps that heat like a winter scarf worn in the desert. The very trait that signals a male's superiority is also slowly cooking him. This isn't just uncomfortable, it's a direct threat. The consequences of this constant heat stress create a devastating paradox. For one, some studies suggest that the elevated body temperatures might even impact fertility, finding that males with the darkest manes can have a higher proportion of abnormal sperm. Think about that. The very trait that makes a male a stud to the ladies could simultaneously be damaging his ability to reproduce. It's an evolutionary catch-22. The heat also forces a tough behavioral choice. During the hottest months, dark-maned males seem to eat less. Gorging on a big meal spikes body temperature, so to avoid overheating, they may have to pass on food. They are literally choosing between staying cool and staying fed. This is the essence of an honest signal. A male can't just fake his way through these costs. Only the most robust, genetically superior males can endure the heat stress and still have the energy to defend a pride. For a lesser male, a dark mane could be a serious liability, with the thermal cost outweighing any benefit. The furnace on his head helps ensure that only the truly worthy get to pass on their genes. But the story gets even more complex. A lion's mane isn't just set by genetics, it shows a remarkable flexibility. This means its growth is heavily influenced by the environment, especially the temperature. This is why lions can look so different across Africa. In cooler places, like the high-altitude Ngorongoro crater, males can afford to grow spectacular, dark manes. But travel to the hot, arid plains of Tsavo National Park, and you'll find the legendary, maneless lions. For years, these lions were a mystery, but we now understand their shorter manes are likely a key adaptation to the extreme heat, though other factors like the dense thornbush terrain probably play a role too. In such a sweltering environment, a huge mane would be a lethal liability. The effect of temperature is so profound that manes can grow fuller in cooler months. What's more, research suggests that males born during hotter-than-average years may end up with shorter manes for their entire lives, a lasting reminder of the climate they grew up in. The environment is constantly fine-tuning this signal of power. This direct link between temperature and manes raises a critical, urgent question. What happens to the lion's mane in a world facing rapid climate change? As temperatures across Africa continue to rise, scientists are concerned that the evolutionary pressure will shift, favoring smaller, lighter manes to reduce heat stress. The Serengeti lions of tomorrow might start looking more like the Tsavo lions of today. This isn't just about looks. If all manes become smaller and lighter because of the heat, the signal itself could get weaker. Lionesses might lose one of their most reliable tools for choosing a mate. Males might lose their best method for sizing each other up without fighting. The whole social playbook for lions could be seriously disrupted. The shrinking mane is a visible, real-time warning of a species being pushed to its thermal limits. It's a canary in the coal mine for even our most iconic animals. So the next time you see that majestic image of a male lion, look past the old myth of the furry shield. See the mane for what it really is, a complex, burning billboard of genetic quality. It's a testament to a brutal trade-off between the drive to reproduce and the struggle to survive. It's not a simple story of protection, but a profound evolutionary saga of sex, signals, and the unforgiving pressure of the environment. If you found this deep dive into the hidden truths of the natural world fascinating, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell for more stories that challenge what you think you know. And let us know in the comments, what other animal facts do you think we've all gotten wrong?